Despite the criticism, LeBron's been having a fantastic season so far. He was decent before his injury, but seems to have exploded a touch further since returning to action. AD's steadied the ship, and Bron's having fun. He may not be as athletic as he once was, but he's evolved. Let's take a look at what the King has to say about that and relive his best moments in the NBA, starting with LeBron not having to rely on his super-duper athleticism. LeBron's finished. He's finally showing age. Beginning of the end. Are you sure about that? Well, that was the discourse not too long ago when the Lakers bottled a 17-point lead against the Pacers. Fair to say, LeBron and the Lakers side have bounced back in the best way possible since. He remains one of the best players in the league, even in his late 30s, and the statistics back him up. He's having a great year for the Lakers, averaging 26.1 points, 8.6 rebounds, and 6.6 assists per outing so far. And given the discourse around him, you'd feel that he still could be a bit off his top form before he can reach his true level. But why is LeBron this good at his age? The secret is adaptability. All great players in every sport need to adapt as they get older, and LeBron's doing the same. The King explained how he doesn't need to rely on his super-duper athleticism anymore to still be effective, and that showcases just how far his game has evolved from the younger days. And that might be great advice for any player looking to emulate LeBron and dominate the league for 2 decades, because you won't have the same athleticism throughout your career. You'll need to find more ways of being effective, and LeBron knew that. He believes he grew his game, and it was a need. It's certainly working out from where we're standing. After that, a look at his adaptability. As the 37-year-old himself said, he relied on his extraordinary athleticism for the first 12 years of his career. That much is certainly true, and we all know just how good that version of LeBron was. The King was averaging well over 28 points if you take out his rookie season in the first decade of his career, and they were very consistent numbers. He had a couple of 30-plus seasons in scoring too, while his rebounding numbers have always remained solid. That shows just how much he relied on his athleticism, and many would think that once you take that out of the equation, LeBron might be finished. That certainly hasn't happened. So what could be the reason behind it? Well, it's obvious. Even when Bron had the athleticism to help him dominate proceedings, he possessed a high IQ on the court. That has transformed into a lethal weapon, along with the experience he's racked up, and he's a different demon from the perimeter now. He wasn't arrogant enough to let himself stay in that same zone. The 4-time champion talks about how he knew that a change was needed, and that for him to remain the best player, he needed to grow his game, and he's certainly done that. If you take a look at the last 8 seasons, the King is still averaging over 26 PPG, but his assist and rebounding numbers have increased. Talk about being effective, and if he continues like that, he might be playing well into his 40s. Moving on, LeBron's greatest moments in the NBA. We'll now shift our attention to the greatest moments of LeBron's career in the NBA. It's subjective entirely, so if you disagree or want to contribute, join the discussion in the comment section below.
Terry, good defense. Wade from behind takes it away. Chalmers, pull,
First up at number 5, first NBA title in 2012. LeBron's individual quality has never been in doubt. The problem has always been finding a strong supporting cast, which he's almost never had. James didn't have sufficient support to win titles during his time with the Cavaliers and had to make the move to Miami to achieve greatness. He was sensational in his first season with the Heat, but failed to win a title after losing in the NBA Finals in 2011. The pressure grew and everything was on the line. He needed to lead that team, and there were no excuses for not going all the way. But when the conference finals ended, LeBron had his 3rd NBA MVP award and his 3rd NBA Finals appearance, and he was all set to take on Oklahoma City Thunder in the finals. You know where this is going, right? Averaging 28.6 points, 10.2 rebounds, and 7.4 assists per game, LeBron also won the Finals MVP trophy as he took apart the Kevin Durant-led Thunder. The King was unplayable in the finals, and in those 5 games he looked somehow even better.
Eddie Curry finally got his ring. The Miami Round Machine celebrates. The Thunder's big 3. They got to watch Durant.
Coming in at number 4, the LeBronto performance. LeBron can look back at his career and pick many moments which define him as a player, but none might be as special as the one when he destroyed the Toronto Raptors in the postseason. A little bit of context tells us that the Raptors had the best record in the Eastern Conference that year. They were on top of the world, destroying every team, and their fans had a little something to say about LeBron too. The King, though, was having none of it. He already had a great record versus Toronto, and he would do his talking on the court. LeBron had already defeated them in the 2016 Conference Finals, and then swept them aside in the second round in 2017. That set up the finals beautifully, as the Raptors were looking for revenge. They came up roaring against LeBron, but he came up with one of the greatest postseason performances of all time. The first game was the best one, with Cleveland winning a 1-point game in Toronto, and then LeBron destroyed the Raptors with a 43-point home display. James averaged 34 points, 11 assists, and 8 rebounds in the series. When we say he was unplayable, we really mean it.
Love with the block. James, reverse time.
Followed by number 3, LeBron picks apart the Celtics in Game 6, 2012. 2012 was the year of the King. He was on a mission and everyone knew it would take something out of the ordinary to stop him. And it got worse when the Celtics came back from 2-0 down to take a 3-2 lead in the 2012 Eastern Conference Finals. Miami had a great team, but it was on the verge of breaking up if they were to lose again in the playoffs. So with 3-2 down and the Heat traveling to Boston, the most feared court in all of America, everything was truly on the line for the King. And when the lights are brightest, the greatest rise. And LeBron is the greatest, isn't he? He made 19 of his 26 field goal attempts and came up with 45 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 assists to silence TD Garden. That look of venom in his eyes was enough to tell the story. There was no way that Miami would lose Game 7, and the Celtics truly lost the finals at that very moment.
Here at the TD Garden.
30 in the first half. These are all second half.
Up next at number 2, 2020 NBA Championship with the Lakers. The Lakers are used to having the best players play for them, and it's not enough having the greatest players of all time plying their trade in LA. They want them to win the Lakers titles too. After a poor first year in LA, due to some injuries and inconsistent performances, the King came into his own with Anthony Davis's arrival from the Pelicans. James and the Lakers side grabbed the top seed of their conference and entered the postseason as favorites, but there was still a lot of work to be done. Once the season resumed after the COVID-19 pandemic-induced break, LeBron went ballistic. They would destroy the Trailblazers, the Rockets, and the Nuggets all in 5 games each before setting up the finals against the Heat. Once again, LeBron rose to the occasion, averaging nearly 30 PPG in the finals along with 11.8 rebounds and 9.5 assists, and winning the finals MVP for the 4th time in his career.
As many plays as possible, LeBron James.
Good defense there from Davis. Forces the turnover, and James with the flush down the other end.
Finally at number 1, the greatest comeback. Well, it had to be this moment. We don't need to explain what makes this moment so great because everyone knows about it. But the sheer audacity of LeBron to not give up when his Cavs side was 1-3 down against possibly the greatest team ever assembled. The 2015-16 Warriors is the biggest example of his greatness. The two sides were familiar with each other, meeting for a second consecutive time in the finals, and with the Warriors leading 3-1, a lead from which no side has ever lost. The Warriors had the comfort of their home, but it didn't matter much as a 41-point performance from LeBron just made them a little uncomfortable and forced a Game 6. In Game 6, LeBron picked up from where he'd left earlier, producing another 41-point display to force the decider. The job wasn't done though, and LeBron wasn't done either. A triple-double and one of the greatest blocks of all time in Game 7 would be enough for the Cavs to complete a historic comeback and earn LeBron his 3rd Finals MVP trophy. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think LeBron is still as effective as he was during the late 2000s? And which of these moments is your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. We'll see you in the next one.